Hello, good evening. Welcome to my channel. My name is 12 Gauge. Thank you for joining me this evening as I'm about to talk about a topic that is not very popular, but it is needed in a lot of different arenas. You know, my channel has true crime, life skills, and on Sundays I like to do what I call Serenity Sunday, which gives people the opportunity to unwind and to be able to come into a safe landing spot where you can listen to hopeful, enlightening streams on getting better, especially if you've had a stressful week. Well, tonight, I'm not doing true crime. It's midweek, and I decided to just do something a little different. I didn't feel like going live, so I thought I'd pre record this and talk about post traumatic stress disorder because it is something that is important. It's something that's needed to be spoken on. And a lot of times, many people do not understand the concept of exactly what PTSD is and how it affects people and how to overcome it with some behavioral and life changes. So, I'd like to pull up a document and talk about this a little bit. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Man, I always have trouble with these little layered things. I don't know what's up with this, but anyways, I hope that y'all can see this. I'm making it a little bigger so that you can. This is coping with post-traumatic stress disorder. What is PTSD? This is an anxiety disorder that can develop after exposure to an experience in which there was a potential or serious physical harm or death. Examples of traumatic events including military combat, natural disasters, terrorist incidents, spousal abuse, child abuse, neglect, automobile accidents, and violent assaults. PTSD is distinguished from normal remembering or stressful events because it's persistent, creates emotional distress, and disrupts functioning in daily life. A person with PTSD has three main types of symptoms: re experiencing the traumatic event, experiencing the same mental, emotional, and physical experiences that occurred or just after the trauma, such as unexpected and distressing memories of the event or flashbacks, feeling as if the event were happening again while awake. Nightmares consisting of the event or other frightening images, exaggerated emotional and physical reaction to triggers to remind a person of the event. And many times it could be anything that triggers you. You have to, when you're learning to heal from PTSD, you have to understand what your triggers and your high risk threshold areas are. Because if you're not mindful of this, you can create an outbreak in your mental capacity without even realizing that you're going too far with it. Avoidance and emotional numbing, avoiding reminders of the trauma. Survivors may or may not realize that their behaviors can be motivated by the need to avoid reminders of the trauma. Avoidance is indicated by extensive avoidance of activities, places, thoughts, feelings, or conversations related to the traumatic event. Feeling detached from others, loss of interest in activities that used to be enjoyable, restricted emotion, shutting down emotionally, or feeling emotionally numb. Trouble having loving feelings or feeling any strong emotion, losing interest in things that you used to enjoy doing. That means that, even if you don't feel like doing something, at least attempt it. You know, start slowly and remember to breathe and remember that you are in the present and that you're no longer in that traumatic event and try to break through the emotional stronghold that you have regarding that event. Increased arousal. Physical reaction to trauma reminds us such as trouble sleeping, difficulty concentrating or remembering information, irritability, feeling agitated or outburst of anger, feeling hypervigilant or on guard, constantly on the lookout for danger, getting startled by loud noises or someone touching you when you're not expecting it, feeling shaky and sweaty, having your heart pound, and or having trouble breathing. These are the trigger areas that I was talking about. You must be hyper vigilant to understand that whenever you're feeling this way, it should tell you, hey, I need to slow down a little bit and I need to calm myself down because I'm heading for a crash. What trauma survivors need to know? Many people have problems following exposure to trauma, and traumas happen to many competent, healthy, strong, good people. People who react to traumas are not going crazy. Their symptoms and problems are connected with having a traumatic experience. Having symptoms after a traumatic event is not a sign of personal weakness. Many psychologically well adjusted and physically healthy people develop PTSD. When a person understands trauma symptoms better, he or she can become less fearful of them and better able to manage them. Active coping makes you begin to feel less hopeless. Active coping means recognizing and accepting the impact of trauma on your life and taking direct action to improve things. Active coping is an attitude and a habit that can be strengthened. Some amount of continued reaction to the traumatic event is normal and reflects a normal body and mind. Healing doesn't mean forgetting traumatic experiences or having no emotional pain when thinking about them. Healing may mean lower or fewer symptoms that are less disturbing, greater confidence in your ability to cope with your memories and reactions, or just an improved ability to manage your emotions. You can heal and you will heal if you continue to put in the effort to get better. And I suggest that each and every one of you do that if you deal with this on a daily basis. And if you can't do it alone, get help, professional help, not on the internet, face to face, and go from there. Behaviors that don't help. These are the behaviors that you not use to cope. Using drugs or alcohol to reduce anxiety, relax, stop thinking about the traumatic experience, or to go to sleep. Substance use causes more problems than it cures. Keeping away from other people. Social isolation means loss of support, friendship, and closeness with others, and more time to worry or feel hopeless or alone. Dropping out of pleasurable or recreational activities. This leads to fewer opportunities to feel good and feel a sense of achievement. Using anger to control others. Angers help to keep others away, often presenting positive connections and or help from loved ones. Trying to constantly avoid people, places, or thoughts that are reminders of the traumatic event. Avoiding thoughts about the trauma or treatment doesn't keep away distress, and it prevents you from making progress or reducing your arousal associated with your stress reactions. Working all the time to try to avoid distressing memories of the trauma. This can lead to isolation. These are some of the behaviors that can help you. There are many ways that you can cope with post-traumatic stress. Practicing relaxation methods. These include muscular relaxation exercises, breathing exercises, meditation, swimming, stretching, yoga, prayer, listening to quiet music, spending time in nature, and so on. While relaxation techniques can be helpful, they can sometimes increase distress by focusing attention on disturbing physical sensations or reducing contact with the external environment. Be aware that while uncomfortable physical sensations may become more apparent when you're relaxed, in the long run, continuing with relaxation in a way that is tolerable with music, walking, or other activities, this helps reduce negative reaction to thoughts, feelings, and perceptions. Increasing positive distracting activities. Positive recreational or work activities often help to distract a person from his or her memories and reactions. Artistic endeavors have also been a way for many trauma survivors to express their feelings in a positive, creative way. This can improve your mood, limit the harm caused by PTSD, and help you rebuild your life. It is important to emphasize that distraction alone is unlikely to facilitate recovery. Active, direct coping with traumatic events and their impact is also important. Talking to another person for support. This means don't isolate. Don't close yourself off. Don't not answer the phone if it rings. When survivors are able to talk about their problems with others, something helpful often results. Of course, survivors must choose their support people carefully and clearly ask for what they need. When support from others, survivors may feel less alone, feel supported or understood, or receive concrete help with a problematic solution. Often it is best to talk to professional counselors about issues related to traumatic experience itself. They may be more likely than friends or family to understand trauma and its effects. It's also helpful to seek support from a support group. Being in a group with others who have PTSD may reduce one's sense of isolation, rebuild trust in others, and produce an important opportunity to contribute to the recovery of other survivors of trauma. Coping with PTSD. Here's some things you can do if you have any of the following symptoms: unwanted, distressing memories, images, or thoughts. First of all, remind yourself that there are memories, and that's natural to have memories of the traumatic event. Talk about them to someone you trust. Remember that enough reminders of trauma can feel overwhelming. They often lessen with time, and it is normal to experience these things. Just don't dwell in them. Sudden feelings of anxiety or panic. These are common part of traumatic stress reactions and include sensations of your heart pounding and feeling lightheaded or faint, usually caused by rapid breathing. If this happens, remember that these reactions are not necessarily dangerous. If you had them while exercising, you probably would not worry you. Monitor your negative thoughts. Often it is an addition of inaccurate, frightening thoughts. I'm going to die, I'm having a heart attack, I will lose control, and makes them especially upsetting. Slow down your breathing and use proper relaxation techniques. Remind yourself that the sensations will pass soon. By thinking about your arousal or anxious reactions in these positive ways, you will work toward making them happen less frequently. Practice will make it easier to cope. Feeling like the trauma is happening again, which is a reenactment or a flashback. Keep your eyes open. Look around you and notice where you are. I'm in the house. I'm in a chair. I'm in a desk. Around a desk. I'm having light shine on me. Remind yourself where you are and that you're safe. The trauma happened in the past and you're in the present. Get up and move around. Have a drink of water and wash your hands. Call someone you trust and tell them what's happening. Remind yourself that this is a common traumatic stress reaction. Tell your counselor or your doctor about your flashback. Trauma-related dreams and nightmares. If you awaken from a nightmare in a panic, remind yourself that you're reacting to a dream and that's why you're anxious or aroused, not because there's real danger now. Consider getting up and out of bed, regrouping, and orientating yourself. Engage in a pleasant, calming activity. Listen to soothing music. Talk to someone if possible, and talk to your doctor about your nightmares. Coping with PTSD. Difficulty falling or staying asleep. Keep to a regular bedtime schedule. Avoid strenuous exercise for a few hours just before going to bed. Avoid using your sleeping area for anything other than sleeping or sexual intimacies. Avoid alcohol, tobacco, or caffeine. These harm your ability to sleep. Do not lie in bed thinking or worrying. After 15 minutes, get up and enjoy something soothing or pleasant. Read a calming book. Drink a glass of warm milk, or do something boring. Irritability, anger, and rage. Take a time out to cool off or think things over. Walk away from the situation. Get in a habit of exercising daily. Exercise reduces body tension and helps get rid of anger in a positive and productive way. Remember that staying angry doesn't work. It actually increases your stress and can cause health problems. Take classes in anger management. If you blow up at a family member or friends, Find time as soon as you can to talk to them about it. Let them know how you feel and what you're doing to cope with your reactions. Difficulty concentrating. Slow down. Give yourself time to focus on what it is you need to learn to do. Write things down. Making to-do lists may be helpful. Break tasks down into small, doable chunks. You don't have to do everything all at once, especially when you're overwhelmed or you're anxious. Plan a realistic number of events or tasks for each day. Monitor your feelings. Many people who are depressed have trouble concentrating. Again, this is something you can discuss with your counselor, doctor, or someone close to you. Having difficulty feeling or expressing positive emotions. Remember that this is a common reaction to trauma, that you're not doing this on purpose, and that you should not feel guilty for something that you did not want to happen and could not control. Make sure you regularly participate in activities you enjoy or used to enjoy. Sometimes these activities can rekindle feelings of pleasure. Take steps to communicate your caring to family or friends in little ways. Write a card, leave a small gift, or phone someone to say hello. Seek additional help. Sometimes PTSD symptoms worsen and ordinary efforts at coping don't seem to work. It is important to reach out and contact a therapist or a counselor for more intensive services. And what I want to add to this, and it's okay to be kind to yourself. It's okay for you to tell yourself, look, this is just a moment in time. Recenter your energy and your focus to where you want to feel safe, where you feel like you're not falling apart, you're not anxious, you're not overwhelmed, but in a place that is safe to land. There are some other videos in my library, if you wish to go back and view them, that give some soothing music and some calming words to help you get through the tough times if you need it. They're usually the ones that have the microphone and no other thumbnail. It's a microphone. Okay, so you might look at those and you might listen to some suggestions until you calm down or you're able to get yourself to a better state of mind. Don't take on too much, and it's okay to say no. You don't always have to be the people pleaser, and you don't always have to be feeling like you have to do more for other people than you do yourself. This is when you get out of a healthy, they call it a chi. This is when your chi gets out of whack and you get out of balance. Just like in a car. Your alignment goes out of balance. What happens? Your car is like all over the place. And you get dizzy and you get frustrated and you can't maneuver it very well. The same thing happens with your body, your mind, and your soul. If you don't take care of yourself, you're no good to anybody else. And one more thing. If you're using substances to numb the pain, or if you're taking sleep agents every night to go to sleep because you can't seem to fall asleep, you might ask your doctor or someone if there's a way that you can taper off this stuff in order to get the normal, I can't think of the word, Barcardian rhythm or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. It sounds something like that. To get that back so that you can fall asleep naturally. Or if you need help, maybe your doctor can prescribe something that is non-addicting that is going to help you sleep throughout the night. Try to get off the chemicals if you're using them to fall asleep or to cope with anxiety, because whether you believe it or not, a lot of these things numb the issue, and once you're not doing it, takes the weight off, and boom, here comes the issue, another issue, another issue, another issue, and this is where all of a sudden anxiety comes from. So, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to play a little bit of soothing music with me off the screen, and then I'm going to upload this video for you. I will see you soon on a live, but I'm just not feeling the lives right now. I'd rather do these. I feel a lot more focused. instead of trying to focus on the chats. Not that I don't appreciate the chats. I just am trying to do things different than other creators, you know? I don't want to be that creator. I hope you understand, and thank you again for supporting the channel. Thank you again for supporting the page, the the content that I'm putting out. And if you're new to my channel and you're enjoying what I'm doing, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave me a comment, let me know how I'm doing. If you have any suggestion on anything that I need to kind of cover, I'll dive into it, do a little bit of research, and see if I can get your stuff either uploaded or if I can do it live in the future. Let's get on with the music, and y'all have a good evening. Maestro, cue the music.